And as I used to say to my own players, big time players step up in big time situations, and big time teams win big time games. Let's go be big time. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Odd Coaches Podcast, the authentic voice of sports leadership where coaching wisdom meets real talk. I am your host, Dr. Keith Adams, and on today's Throwdown Thursday edition, Week 11 recap of the college football season, Segment 1, Power 4 and Notre Dame. Segment 2, the Group of 5 who are killing me right now. And in Segment 3, we're going to give you the no-spin version of the college football playoffs. So with me today, academic and athletic consultant of the CKA SAVE Project, George Ockert. George, man, we got to get this thing right. So, SEC, Texas A&M doing their thing, Alabama doing their thing, Georgia, Vandy, Ole Miss. We might get 5 teams in this jump. What are you thinking about the SEC this week, sir?
I mean, look, Texas A&M holding it down. They're doing what they're supposed to do. That was a big win against Missouri. Ole Miss played the Little Sisters of the Poor and just went ahead and ran the score up on them. LSU, Alabama, I look forward. There's certain games I look forward to every year, okay? Miami, Florida State, Michigan and Ohio State, Georgia and Florida. These are games that have something to them. Oregon and Oregon State. LSU and Alabama usually top that list. This could have been the ugliest game I have ever seen them play. Even the one in the game of the century where LSU won like 9-3 or whatever, where no touchdowns were scored. There was great defense played in that game. This game was horrible. And it was all because LSU could offense. What happened? I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin with the number of athletes and weapons they have down there. I just don't know. It was just terrible, man. Alabama played right to their level. If LSU's defense wasn't as good as it is, it might be the best in the country. I might put that defense up against everybody else. It could have got out of hand. And that on the other side of that, I'm watching that Vanderbilt Auburn game. Vanderbilt came through. We're going to see how they are. They got some big tests next week. I think they got Texas. Auburn is always one touchdown, one field goal away from making it happen. So, they're holding court in the SEC. We said earlier this might be the year the SEC only gets 2 teams, but their 5 are strong. Their big 5 are really strong. So we're going to see how this shakes out because they still all have to play each other. So it's going to be they're going to cannibalize each other. I still believe it.
Okay. Big Ten. Get that boy the Heisman right now.
Oh, God.
Okay. Indiana. They haven't played anybody. Okay. The biggest game that they had, Oregon, going to Oregon and winning comfortably. And we hadn't seen them get punched. And Penn State doesn't have bums fans. Okay. They're a good team playing very badly. And they're at home. The crowd was behind them. They were up the whole game. And then there's just always a moment where you just have to rise up to the occasion. And as I used to say to my own players, big time players step up in big time situations, and big time teams win big time games. Let's go be big time. That was big time, George. So, yeah, Ohio State won, Oregon won. Who cares? That kid did something special. So they're the team that I'm actually rooting for. What are you thinking about the Big Ten this week?
Oh, man, Indiana is showing out, and let Cignetti talk all he wants to. Because they're doing their thing. It's good to see them there. The caveat with this is those two, Indiana, Ohio State go in undefeated. They're going to squeeze. Oregon might get squeezed out of this because they're not going to get to the Big Ten championship. So we'll see where they end up when we get to the rankings. But that's the only problem. And they're a solid team. I just don't think they're as good as Ohio State or Indiana right now.
All right, I gotta do an extra story. Big Ten. Big Brother Almighty gave me a call, George. For folks new to the show, that's my brother Rick, and he said Maryland lost to Rutgers. When is enough enough.
Also, leave it
And
alone.
I said, we'll bring it up on the show. I will ask George. George, Maryland can't beat Rutgers. And the formula seems to be win early, lose late every year. I won't go Mike King in the chat. But what do you think, sir?
It's the end of the road for Locks. I love him. I think he's done a great job in trying to get the swag back and the essence of being Maryland football and bringing them in. But Locks, first, he couldn't just get over the hump, and now he just can't get it done at all.
And
Um,
JMU and UVA are in the top 25 in the
yeah,
nation. That does not
so
look good.
no, so I expect that I expect to see a new coach in
Ah. All right, we won't belabor that point. Big 12, Texas Tech beat BYU, and those are the only two teams you need to care about. And Texas Tech beat them very comfortably. So even if there is a rematch, I think Texas Tech will probably beat them comfortably. What are you thinking about the Big 12, sir?
And hey, Texas Tech, I believe in Texas Tech. I don't know if they have enough up front at the line of scrimmage to deal with one of those SEC juggernauts. But let me tell you, Texas Tech can go get it. They are good. And we're not, even though BYU lost, I'm not taking anything away from them. BYU is a damn good team also. Big 12 has two teams, and those two teams are damn good, and they can be, they can go on the field with anybody right now. They're not. It's not the cupcakes that we everybody's used to or thinking about right now.
Okay. Begrudgingly, I will close with the ACC and Notre Dame. So shout out to my college roommate, Brian Irons, Beans to us, and Milford Best, my main man. We used to fight in the early 90s, George, about ACC football and how weak it is. And I'm fighting for the ACC. And in 2025, the fight is over. So you got Virginia losing to Wake. You got Louisville losing to Cal. What are we doing, man? The ACC legitimately will probably only have one team in the college football playoffs, and that's all they deserve. And if Duke ends up winning the ACC, they might not even have a team in based on the rules of the college football playoffs because it said the highest ranked conference champion. And if your conference champion is not ranked, you're not getting in. Now, that's a doomsday scenario, but that's reality. What are you thinking about the ACC and Notre Dame? No need to hit Jake this week. Notre Dame's in the top 10. So we're just going to keep rolling the dice.
Yeah. Notre Dame's there. Look, man, who wants the ACC? That's the thing. Nobody wants to take control of it. It's been disappointing. We came into the year with such high hopes with Miami and Florida State, and they both let us down. So it's and then we saw Georgia Tech being tough, but then they even lost. So it is a round robin situation right now about who really wants to be the ACC champion of the ACC, and I suspect we're probably gonna go down those last few weeks where they got the that they still have the in conference games. I really want to see what's going to be interesting because Georgia's been sneaking by with the skin of their teeth. And Georgia and Georgia Tech always play a great game. So that end of the year game is going. Not only is it going to be important because it could move Georgia Tech up or down.
Tech up in the ratings. Yep. Yeah.
It could also add, and especially if Georgia Tech is right there for the championship, headed for the championship. It's going to be a big one. So it's going to be worthwhile checking that one out.
Yeah. So I got to get this off my chest. UVA made me mad.
Oh,
okay. Coach Adams. When you're learning how to win, it's a hard process. But when you're at home with bright lights, big city, and you play in the late slot, that means everybody in the country is watching you and you don't perform. I know you're 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds, but man, you've got to put out a better performance than that. Everybody wants to be good till it's time to be good. And I said on the show the last couple of weeks, George, you're banking on UVA. That's what you're banking on as the ACC. Good luck with that. Well, sometimes the old man is right. Go ahead,
Keith,
George.
Keith, that's your fault. Because who believes in
I'm
you?
talking about the ACC. I'm like, y'all banking on Virginia. That's who you're banking on.
No, I think they put there at the beginning of the year. They put their money in Clemson, Florida State, and Miami.
Who asked for all this money and said, y'all better give us this or else, and y'all too stinking up the joint.
And now we can't get a solid win out of any of them. So
and I'm secretly mad that Louisville messed up my boys at JMU because that's their best loss.
I know.
And you're messing it up, man. All right, segment 2, we're going to talk Group of 5, and we're going to talk about them Dukes. We're going to talk about them Dukes. We'll be right back on the Yacht Coaches.
Let's go, baby.
Today's student athletes face pro-level challenges without pro-level support. The CKA SAVE Project is here to change that. For 16 plus years, Dr. Keith Adams and his team have provided comprehensive academic and athletic support from middle school through post-graduation transitions. NIL guidance, transfer portal navigation, academic coaching, career planning, they've got it covered. The CKA SAVE Project. When your future is on the line, experience matters. Learn more at www.ckasaveproject.org.
Welcome back to the Yacht Coaches Podcast in segment 2. We're going to always start off with that disappointing American Conference. Okay? Hey, Memphis, they gave you a second chance. They said, we're going to let the UAB loss go, and we're still going to rank you. And what did you do? You laid an egg, okay? So you're out. They're going to keep shoving USF down our throat because of those 2 early season wins, but they ain't no good either, okay? I know you like Tulane, but I saw them lay an egg too. So I'm all out of the American Conference. George, you can tell me what you think about the American because I'm done with them.
I always scream I've screamed 2 teams since we've started this show. And that's always been Tulane was one of them, and we're going to get to the other. I won't even bring them up right now. I still think Tulane has a solid team. They have a solid program. They took Memphis out this week. So I'm still riding with them. I think they're going to get past that. They'll come out of the American. Will they be ranked? I don't know about that, but we shall see. But I still like Tulane. I still like.
All right, so we're going to go Mountain West, and here's the next level of disappointment. San Diego State. You are at the other teams getting votes. You were there, right there on the cusp. You were winning games, and then you go to Hawaii for the bettor's paradise, and that's what we usually call the late game. That's for the road gamblers who won't go to bed. And I wake up, I didn't even look, George. And I'm like, what is going on? They lost to Hawaii.
Look, man, you can't listen. Going to Hawaii is like back in the NBA when they used to talk about going to Miami. You can't get caught up in everything around. And I think they had San Diego State got the head fluffed up, and then it came back to bite them, man. So
I'm done. I'm done with the American, and I'm done with the Mountain West. Okay. But I tell you who I'm not done with. It's the Sun Belt Conference and James Madison. So a few years ago, shout out to Coach Mike Francis. I was on Project Cincinnati that one year where we were like, let's just get Cincinnati in there. I am on Project JMU. They are finally ranked in the top 25, and all they have to do is win out. Now, again, Sun Belt's got some good ball. Okay, They got some really good ball, and Southern Miss. There's going to be some teams, maybe a local one, that's going to call that guy up because he took everybody from Marshall, went down to Hattiesburg, and putting up W's. So, George, any thoughts about the Sun Belt? Because my chips are being pushed in to the JMU middle.
Well, let's talk about the Sun Belt real quick because there are places there that no big-time team would ever want to go visit because seasons die. Whether it's in Louisiana with the Raging Cajuns, whether you head down to Myrtle Beach and catch Coastal, or whether you Southern Miss too becomes a problem, or the giant killer themselves out there in Boone, North Carolina, Appalachian State. Nobody really wants to see any of them. And right now, nobody wants to see them Dukes from Harrisonburg and JMU. That is a stop. We've been talking about them for the past 2 years. That is a solid program down there, and they keep putting up work. I I hope this season runs out and they are in the top 25 so they can jump in, because I'm gonna tell you right now, they're gonna make some noise. It's gonna be fun to watch them in the college playoff.
And Robert put it out into space. We want Indiana at 5, and we want JMU at 12, so they can play each other, because half of Indiana is JMU players anyway. All right, Conference USA, Jack State and Kennesaw State are the best teams right now. And shout out to the little engine that could. Delaware got their 5th win. I'd take the over. And they're 1 win away from bowl eligibility. So go Blue Hens. Any thoughts about Conference USA? Because they all play like Monday and Tuesday.
I know, and I'm happy for Delaware. They just moved up this year, right?
They just moved up this year.
And there's another good program. There was another good program coming that people just didn't really want to see. So yeah, great job, Delaware. I'm glad to see it. One caveat there. Oregon State, who used to be that Pac-12, was supposed to be, still up there. Sam Houston put it to them. That's all I got to say about
what they did. Sam Houston State. And word on the street was that the boosters, and I'm looking at the coach because he's already gone, I think. They're looking at the AD now. ADs are starting to lose their jobs. What? Wow. Oh, okay. Yep. All right. Maction, Akron, you might not have good grades, but your team is winning some games. All right. Because I think they're on probation, and that's a shoot. I think they're on probation. Ohio won. Toledo won. Miami of Ohio did not win, and I was not entertained. I'll just say that. Any thoughts on Mac? George, I was not entertained.
I mean, man, look. Ohio, Buffalo, Miami, Ohio, somebody's got to win that conference. So, and they'll have a T-shirt and raise a trophy, and we'll watch the championship game. So, keep it moving.
All right, HBCUs, we're gonna close it out. Dell State beat Morgan State on ESPNU. Deshaun Jackson doing pretty well there. South Carolina State and Central, I don't know if they have a MEAC championship game with 4 teams in the MEAC. In the SWAC, Prairie View, Alabama State, FAMU, Grambling. Grambling fighting people, though. Who they fight? I saw that. Jackson State and Alcorn State won. Others, A&T lost to Stony Brook, and Hampton lost to Maine. But, hey, you wanted to lead the MEAC, so take these whoopings every week. Okay. George, any thoughts on the MEAC before we close? On the HBCUs, I should say, before we close.
Yeah, I mean, we're headed towards our regular version of the with Celebration Bowl Championship, I guess, where we got Jackson State and North Carolina Central going at it.
It might be Dale State, might be.
Dale State ain't getting past it's Central, man. Central, those two.
Did they beat Central?
I don't know. I don't think Central lost. I don't know. I think
they might have beat Central.
They do. If they did, then that's new. That'll be so interesting. But as a I thought I was at the whole situation, but it was going to be Central and Jackson State. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. So fans, in segment 3, we are going to talk about the college football playoffs, but we're going to do it without the noise and without the spin. We'll be right back on the Our Coaches Podcast. Hi, everyone. Dr. Keith Adams here. And for over 30 years, I've dedicated my life to helping student athletes succeed, not just on the fields and the courts, but in the classroom and beyond. And that's why I founded the CKA SAVE Project. The CKA SAVE Project understands that finding the balance between academics and athletics is crucial for long-term success. That's why the CKA SAVE Project offers a range of programs, including personalized consulting, mentorship, and coming in 2027, our innovative Gap Year Basketball Academy designed to assist both young men and women reach their full potential both on and off the court. I'm incredibly excited to announce that the CKA SAVE Project is now partnering with the Cascade Sports Network. This partnership will allow us the opportunity to amplify our message and reach even more student athletes through the Odd Coaches podcast and other exciting initiatives. Join the CKA SAVE Project and the Cascade Sports Network as we empower the next generation of student athletes. Visit CKA on the web at www.ckasaveproject.org to learn more. Let's work together to find the balance and help unlock your potential. Welcome back to the Odd Coaches podcast in segment 3. All right, you're only taking 12. Here's how the math works. For the first week of the college football playoffs, the Odd Coaches podcast got all 12. Now, again, I don't care about your seeding. I just care about having the 12 in, and we'll let the seeding take care of itself. So in the SEC, we've got Texas A&M as the champion. Okay. Big Ten, I think Indiana's going to be the champion of the Big Ten.
Woo.
Big 12, Texas Tech. Indiana's already in first place right now.
Right.
And if they win the championship game, they're in the driver's seat.
I got you.
Big 12, Texas Tech, because they just beat BYU.
Okay.
And then the ACC, you better bank on Georgia Tech, because Georgia Tech not only can win the conference, but they got that shot at the SEC. And that's a way to get you 2 in, because if Georgia Tech gets all the way to the championship game with a win over Georgia, and then they lose, they won't drop that much, and that's how the ACC can get 2 in. Other than that, I can't see the ACC getting 2 in. And in terms of the group of 6, I'm all in on JMU. Man, you guys don't blow it. Just don't blow it. All right. So now at 6, because you got the 5 there, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Ohio State, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. So that's how I'm seeing it in terms of the SEC on the outside looking in. Oklahoma's got a shot to mess them things up. Tennessee's got a shot to mess some things up, and Vandy's got a shot to mess some things up. In the Big Ten, Georgia, they're trying to shove USC down our throats. So since they're trying to show it, I'm going to say, okay, USC, but you've got to play Oregon, and Oregon's got to play better. So at least I brought them up. Big 12, the only team that's got a shot at the playoffs, BYU. So good luck to them. ACC, nobody wants to win this thing, so you still got UVA. You still got Pitt. And thank you for being ranked, Pitt, because Notre Dame's going to play you, and that's another ranked win for Notre Dame. Go Irish. Okay. Marcus is my man. The BCA is real. SMU, who cares? And Duke. Duke lost to UConn, man.
I know.
Now, of course, I was entertained by that game because I took UConn in the points, but I digress. All right, and the group of 6, they're going to shove USF down our throats. And believe it or not, Navy still has an outside shot, but that's about it because they can make it to the American Conference Championship. George, what are you thinking about the college football playoffs this week?
This is just the beginning, because I think there's going to be a whole situation where the SEC is going to cannibalize itself. The only one really that doesn't have to play one of the other top teams is going to be Texas A&M. I don't think they get anybody till late in their schedule. It's going to be, I think, let's see, Texas A&M finishes with South Carolina, Samford, and then they play Texas. So that's a win for them.
Where are they playing that game at? Is that at Kyle Field or
they're playing in Austin. They're playing at
okay.
Yeah. So you got that one. Alabama still gets Oklahoma, so one of them is going to get knocked out, and
the Iron Bowl is real.
The Iron Bowl is real every year. So you got that, and then Georgia gets Texas this week, and then they get Georgia Tech at the end of the season. So, and Ole Miss might be the only other one. Ole Miss comes in, they got Florida and Mississippi State. So somebody getting bumped out of that SEC championship. So at least 2, one definitely, and maybe even 2 of those teams that we just talked about gets bumped out. So that's going to be a spot right there. Big Ten's going to do everything they can to shove Oregon in.
I think Oregon is safe as long as they win. I think the Big Ten will get 3 if it's Oregon. I think USC's got too much of a climb. I just think they have too much of a climb.
Oh yeah, I don't think they'll get another one. I think Oregon will probably be the one to stay in there. Texas Tech get in. I really think BYU has a serious chance of making, because once that SEC, because I don't see Texas making it. Texas falls out, BYU's gonna go in.
They keep winning, man. But they've got some challenging. They've got some difficult days ahead.
BYU is going to take care of your USF problem, because they're going to get rid of them, and they got to play Cincinnati. So they're working something out. But I just think BYU will make it in, which will make it interesting. And I see the one ACC now. Georgia Tech comes and plays against Georgia, and you say, let's just play hypothetical here. Georgia Tech beats Georgia. Does Miami sneak in?
No, I think all of Miami's losses are within the ACC.
Yeah,
so they're not even a blip on the screen.
Yeah,
they can't get in.
Right. So we'll see. There's that 2 options right there. I can see Texas, and then that Georgia Tech Georgia game, and that's going to cause BYU to slide in. Now the interesting one out of all of this is Vanderbilt might sneak in on us.
That's a lot of sneaking.
Hey, all they got left is Kentucky and Tennessee. They beat Tennessee, and you get Texas falling out. Yeah, it could happen, brother.
It could. But in terms of Miami, they're 3-2 in conference.
They're
done. They're done. All right, so let's take a look at next week's games. Friday, Minnesota travels to Oregon. I don't think that's going to be an upset. Wisconsin takes on Indiana. Wisconsin's coming off a very good win, and Luke Fickell's coming back next year. What do you think? Any upset? No. Okay. South Carolina, Texas A&M.
Yep, that's going to be work. They'll have. If South Carolina can ever stay healthy enough they'll give everybody a game. So that's going to be a good one. I can't. That's going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah, and game day will be at Pittsburgh for Notre Dame, Pittsburgh. Okay. Now, we have not talked about Michigan. They're in the top 25, but no one cares.
No.
So you just got to hope that you got to hope you keep winning games and then try to beat Ohio State. South Florida is coming to town, sir, to take on Navy. You think the midshipmen can get rid of my South Florida problem?
No.
Okay. Oklahoma, Alabama. All right.
Yeah,
UCF is traveling to Texas Tech, and UCF is a formidable team.
They'll get put out the pasture.
Virginia and Duke. Yeah. Georgia Tech, Boston College. Don't lay an egg. Yeah. NC State's playing Miami, and NC State has a way of just messing up stuff.
Always.
Iowa is going to USC. App State is going to Harrisonburg to play JMU. Oh, I hate this, man. Thank God it's in Harrisonburg.
Yeah, I was about to say it's in Harrisonburg. It was in Boone. Oh my God. It's in Boone.
North Carolina's taking on Wake, man, and my man, Coach Belichick's getting some W's.
Dog, it's a dice roll to see which Wake Forest team is going to show up. They are Jekyll and Hyde, so they see which one's going to show up.
Florida and Ole Miss. Again, Florida's not bad. They're just playing bad.
That's going to be a sneaky one right there.
Texas and Georgia.
Yep.
And TCU was playing BYU, and TCU can beat BYU. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up, sir?
No, man. Look, I'm just going to I'll tell everybody, sit on the edge of your seat, because it's going to be a wild ride to the end, because it's unpredictable, and as crazy as this season has been so far, it's not over yet. We're going to see a lot more before it ends, because there's a lot of parity in college football right now. So,
all right. So before we wrap up this week's Throwdown Thursday edition, I do want to take a moment to introduce our listeners to the exciting world of NCAA Division III football's postseason and how the CKA SAVE Project is now officially a part of it. The Division III National Championship journey culminates in the Amos Alonzo Stagg Bowl. One time I had ball with that. And in the Division III playoffs, there is a 40-team single elimination tournament that kicks off immediately after the regular season. So here's the breakdown for those who are new to Division III football. There are 27 automatic bids. There are 13 at-large bids, and the tournament is structured to put the best teams that are seeded with the NCAA Power Index. And that's just not enough teams because there's a number of quality clubs that are just not going to play in the postseason. So now you've got the Opendorse Bowl Series, and I'm proud to announce that the CKA SAVE Project has formed a major partnership with the Opendorse Bowl Series, which is a game changer for us. So this is going to be the premier postseason event. They had it last year. They're going to play this game at the historic Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in Canton, and it's going to feature teams from 4 powerhouse conferences in Division III. The Heartland Conference, North Coast, the Ohio Athletic Conference, and the President's Conference. And these are teams that just didn't make the NCAA tournament. The CKA SAVE Project will sponsor the Balanced Student Athlete Award. We're going to award that to 4 players from different teams, and the 2 bowl games that will be part of the Opendorse Bowl Series are the Forever Lawn Bowl and the Extra Point Bowl. So this is an exciting opportunity for us. George, I'll bring you back something from the Hall of Fame if you'd like, because I've never gone. I've never gone to Canton. So I will be on site, and you'll see CKA will do some OCP work there because we'll do some special Find the Balance Friday episodes based off that. We ranked up, George. Any thoughts, sir?
Both stages, we hooked up with them. Let's put it in. Well, let's hope Shenandoah makes it out there. Let's hope Shenandoah.
All right. So on behalf of our cavalcade of stars, I'm Dr. Keith Adams saying thank you for listening and/or watching the Our Coaches podcast, the authentic voice of sports leadership where coaching wisdom meets real talk. Also seen on the Cascade Sports Network. And we will see you on the sidelines. Until next time, take care.
We hope you enjoyed today's show. The Odd Coaches podcast drops new episodes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to the Odd Coaches podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Follow the Odd Coaches podcast on the X platform at Odd Coaches. Follow Dr. Keith Adams and the CKA SAVE Project on social media at CKA SAVE Project. For more information about the CKA SAVE Project, visit them on the web at www.cksaveproject.org. See you next time on the Odd Coaches Podcast.